Hi, I'm Dave Henning with Fresh Start TV, coming to you live from the Fresh Start Radio Studios in Pacific Grove, California, and I'm welcoming my good friends Everett O'Keefe and Andy Falco. Welcome, guys.
Hey, David. Thank you for having us on.
Good to have you here. And so we are going to talk today about mastermind groups. This is incredible. I love mastermind groups. I've been to several myself, but not as cool as your mastermind groups. Come on. You have some really cool locations in Colorado, and out in the desert somewhere. I don't know. But anyway, welcome. So for our viewers and listeners who don't know, what in the world is a mastermind group?
Okay, well, we didn't come up with this idea, but Napoleon Hill, if you go back to Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill makes mention of mastermind. He really just talks about when multiple people get together, an additional mind forms in the room. And that mind is stronger, more powerful than any of the individuals. And it's because of the synergy that happens between this person's great thoughts and that person's great ideas and this person's wisdom, and just how it all mixes together. And so that's the whole idea of a mastermind, comes really from that. But a mastermind group can take really lots of different forms. Andy and I run a group that meets every couple of weeks by video conference using Zoom. And we have typically 10 to 15 members at any given time. They're all marketing experts and consultants of one kind or another. We build each other's businesses. We scout out each other's problems. We throw ideas out there and let people beat them up. And we just support each other so that we grow dramatically. In fact, Napoleon Hill also said, now that I think about it in Think and Grow Rich, that with a mastermind group, you can accomplish with the collective resources of the group, you can accomplish more in a year than you might in 5 or 10 or 20 years on your own. And I think that's it.
That's outstanding. So, I'm very familiar with Napoleon Hill and his business manager, W. Clement Stone, who started his insurance agency in Chicago with $100 and ended up, I think he passed away at 100 years old, and he had given away millions of dollars to charity. And those guys were the dynamic duo way back when. So those principles are still valid today for sure. And this whole mastermind thing of, it's kind of like two heads are better than one, even if one is a cabbage head, right?
Well, I mean, look at Andy and I. Yeah. Right. So.
I think the most important thing for me is when you're an entrepreneur, you tend to try to do things by yourself. And I think the most important thing that we've been able to do for each other is kind of be the board of directors that we wouldn't normally have if we didn't have this mastermind group. So when I have a problem or an issue, or I want to hire somebody, maybe I can go to my board of directors and say, this is what I'm thinking about doing. What do you guys think? And there's not a lot of shy people in our group. And so the greatest thing is sometimes they don't tell us the thing that we want to hear. And that is really important. I don't need a bunch of people telling me, that I'm making all the right decisions and, do what you think. I really want to know the truth. I want to know if I'm heading down the wrong direction. And that's what I love about our group, that we have that ability, that we love each other enough that we can tell each other the truth.
Exactly. So there's accountability involved in that whole process. And it's really cool that you can have a group of people who, like, as you say, are entrepreneurs. And I've been a horrible DIY guy, do-it-yourself guy for so long, which is not the healthiest thing in the world. And even to learn to delegate is important for being the most productive. So you kind of touched on it, Andy, why mastermind groups are so important. Everett, anything else on that?
Yeah,
note?
What Andy said is really critical, because many of us operate in silos, and that's true whether we're a solopreneur or whether we run a large corporation. When you think about it, as a solopreneur, we know we need resources outside of ourselves. We're not always good about accepting them, but we know we need those resources. But even if you are the CEO of a large company, there are times when you've got challenges and ideas that you want to discuss in a really neutral environment, rather than discussing it with people who, let's say, have some skin in the game and may not be motivated for your best interest, but for their own. In a mastermind group, we have no vested interest with each other than seeing each other have success. And so we can say the tough things that need to be said. And we can just share generously. We can, none of us, even though some of us are in competitive businesses, meaning we may have the same kind of business, some of us, we're not competitors because we just know there's so much stuff out there for us. And so we just share openly.
So we've mentioned a little bit of the kind of people that you've had in your mastermind group. So who should be in a mastermind group?
Andy, you want to take that one?
Yeah, well, I was going to be a little bit too general, I think, and I think that anybody that's in business, it's I can't think of any reason why not to be, because it's impossible. As I was opening my first business as a dog trainer, I created this dog training facility that we train police dogs all over the world, and bomb dogs, and pet dogs, and bed bug detection dogs, you name it. And I was
even
really
dog detecting dogs, right? Even dog detecting dogs.
Yeah, no, and so and so I was really good at that one thing, right? I was really good at that. I was a police officer for 21 years. I was really good at that. I got voted Officer of the Year and got Career Achievement Award, and all kinds of things that very, very blows your head up really big, and you begin to think you can do everything, right?
Right.
You begin to think you can run a business, a corporation, and not so much. I was lucky that my system that I created was carried me. Because I don't know, I forget the statistics but most businesses fail in a very short period of time, whatever that is, a couple of years or something like that. And thankfully, I had such a strong system. That's what kept me in business. It surely wasn't my business intelligence. As a matter of fact, there were times where I was, taking out of my savings or paying people, from a credit card, and just was not very smart about that. So for me, as an entrepreneur, I was an entrepreneur, but I wasn't a good businessman. And so those two things, really don't always go together. And so at the moment that I joined a mastermind, that gave me exactly what I was missing. And that was people that knew stuff that I didn't know, about marketing, about hiring and firing, about, how to find the right accountant, and you name it. Everything else other than training dogs, I needed help with.
Yeah. And I saw your picture with Caesar Milan, one of my favorite little dog TV shows. And all that aside, mastermind groups, that's what we're focusing on today. And interestingly, what I hear you saying is you've got to invest in yourself. So I've been kind of a crazy entrepreneur. I bought a Service Master cleaning company franchise from a guy that was burnt out. Then I realized why he was burnt out, right?
Right.
And I had an insurance agency with Fran Tarkenden, and then all these crazy things. And so here we are today, and I'm back in the radio niche or niche. Now, is it important to say niche or niche?
I've heard it both ways.
Depends on who I'm with. If I'm with very fancy people, then I say niche. If I'm with a bunch of other cops, then we say niche.
I don't think cops say niche. Not buying it.
So you said that anybody that's in business should be in a mastermind group. However, as I just mentioned, it is an investment in yourself and an investment in themselves, and they've got to see value in that first, because I'm sure both of you, like myself, have invested a lot of money and a lot of training, a lot of things that we've invested into ourselves, lifetime students, basically.
Yeah.
So you really, how do you, I don't want to say weed out people, but I just said it.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. It's like, how do you weed out the people that are wrong for a mastermind group, right?
Yeah.
Here's the great thing. They weed themselves out. It happens inevitably, and we've seen it. Our greatest requirement for people coming into our mastermind group is that they have a contribution mindset, that they really enjoy helping other people. And if they don't, like if they're just takers, then they'll last maybe 6 months, maybe. Because what happens is it becomes real clear who the takers are, and it just doesn't happen for them. But
it's not a good fit.
Yeah, when people are givers, other people want to give like crazy to them. And
Right, exactly. So,
it,
and there's that whole, I'm sure that you are bound to a confidentiality thing because you're sharing openly and transparently with the people in your groups. And that's kind of a given, right?
yeah, but it's not just a given, it's a stated given. And in fact, when we get together, particularly at our retreats, which are, you alluded to, is a 3-day event that we do in a place like Aspen or Victoria, British Columbia, Dominican Republic, Yosemite, Carmel. Actually, we did one at Carmel a couple
Nice.
of years ago. You're close to there right now. But yeah, we always talk about confidentiality because we do want people to share openly. And they're going to be sharing problems with their businesses. They're going to be sharing strategies they're considering. And we all want to come together and just kind of love on each other to go forward with that. Andy, talking about anybody should be in a mastermind group if they're in business. Think about this: is when some of us were in college, we understood the benefit of being in a study group, a group of other students in the same situation coming together in order to help each other, and we're all going, toward the same group. Consider a mastermind group, a study group with a mix of people with all different experiences that all can help each other. We love it because typically if there's a challenge we have encountered or that we have just bumped into right now, someone in the group's already hit that roadblock before and has figured out a way around that roadblock. Or if we come up with a bright shiny object, because none of us ever pursue bright shiny objects as entrepreneurs.
No.
Someone in the group has already explored that bright shiny object and may be able to say, yeah. I thought that was a great idea too, until I realized this. And then you go, okay, you just saved me a year of screwing around with that.
Yeah.
And I can't, the amount of money that that being in a mastermind group has made me and saved me is beyond measure, really, at this point.
I don't know if that's from Napoleon Hill, or I know my good buddy John Maxwell talks about, if you do enough reading and studying in enough mastermind groups, you can learn from the mistake of others. And as you mentioned, not waste time and money, but just skip past, because I don't have to make that mistake because they already made it and they've told me what to do here.
That's right.
So,
and then we also have really exciting things. Like today, Andy, for the first time, decided to, one of Andy's many areas of great expertise is in live casting, live streaming video. And so Andy today ran a test with a brand new tool called StreamYard. And what we as a group get to do is benefit from all the experiments that everyone else in the group is doing. So when one of us says, okay, you know what, I really need to get into live casting for myself or for a client, who do they reach out to? They reach out to Andy, and Andy's like, oh yeah, you probably want this, that, and the other. Just save, thousands of dollars in time and in dollars, by him doing the research for us. It also puts us on the bleeding edge of some new technologies that come up. One of our members was in the alpha testing, and I was in the beta testing of Kartra when it came out. A CRM system.
right.
And Andy was one of the early founding members of Kajabi, and being in this group where we're all building ourselves and building each other up is it's really a wonderful, powerful thing. It's also a lot of fun. The only and Andy and I love to just give each other crap all the time, but we just,
it's a gift. It's a gift. You guys have a gift.
for giving each other crap. Yeah, that's one of them.
I'm just sitting here enjoying you talking about me and all my strengths.
We have
really
a great
weird
time because we really do consider each other to be family. And if you're going to be in a mastermind group, make sure that it's not that your mastermind group has to be filled with people that you would, go hang out at the beach with or something, but it doesn't hurt. Now that I think of the times we spent snorkeling and stuff like that as a group, but it's really a wonderful thing.
There's a synergy that occurs in that situation. You mentioned some really awesome, cool places that you've had your retreats in. So how many mastermind groups are you guys in?
I am in 2.5. That's how many, and which is also a great answer to how many, can you be a member of more than one mastermind group? The answer is absolutely, because each group will have a different strength. And actually, I guess I'm in 3 mastermind groups, 3.5. And the reason I say 0.5 is there's another mastermind group of which I'm a member that we just meet kind of a few times a year, just as needed. But regularly participate in 3 different mastermind groups that all have different strengths. And one of them is the Business Accelerator group that Andy and I manage and run. How about you, Andy?
2. One called Overcome Nation, which is a network marketing group. That's a very strong group. We're up to 3,000 people now. I know it's not as intimate as the Mastermind or the Business Accelerator group. We changed the name, so that's. I almost said the old name, which is the Mastermind Retreat, which is the name of the URL, mastermindretreat.net. But Overcome Nation really is, amazing as it sounds, a really big group. But I have probably done more in that group in the 8 weeks that I've been there. I've already spoke on stage at one of their events. I've already met, in San Diego at another event. And they just went to Chicago, where 400 of them met and spoke for 3 days, going from 8 o'clock in the morning until midnight every day, talking about business and how to run the business and how to do things. It's a very strong group. It's a network marketing mastermind group like none other that I know of on the planet. They are amazing. They meet we probably meet throughout the day. We meet like 3 days out of the week in a private Facebook group where our main guy speaks, and then we have another person in there that speaks once in a while. So like I said, that's not really intimate mastermind group like we have with the Business Accelerator group, but nonetheless, it is one that is very strong, and a lot of teaching is done, and we interview each other and do a lot of stuff. So it's really 2 completely different kinds of masterminds, but I love them both.
Sweet. Very cool. Well, I've been a big follower of Frank Kern for years, and I know he's got his mastermind group as well. I'm saving up for it. Hey, I admit it. So I was curious if you realize that Business Accelerator Group, the acronym is BAG.
Yep. Yeah, we know that.
So you're going to bag business.
It's Everett and I bag on each other all the time.
Put a bag over Andy's head. I don't know.
At the end of a call, we'll say it's in the bag.
See, there you go.
Yeah, whatever.
Awesome. Perfect. So
maybe we've never said that, but I just did.
So there'll be no editing whatsoever of this interview, by the way. I just wanted to mention.
Sorry to hear that. I thought you were going to try to make us look good.
Oh, yeah. Well, you do look good, except for that shine on your forehead.
Oh, yes, baby.
I thought I liked you, David.
So how can people get the most out of hey, take it easy. There's going to be a test, by the way. How can people get the most out of a mastermind group? Seriously, we talked a little bit about commitment and what's involved in being committed to it and to each other. So how do you get the most out of it, really?
Participating.
Yeah.
Just participating. You got to be active. You got to talk. You got to ask questions. You have to, when you discover something new, you need to put it in the group and say, hey, I just discovered this brand new thing. I think it's worthwhile looking at. Let's do it as a group. I mean, you just got to participate. If you're going to sit there in the corner and just listen to everybody talk, I don't know that you're getting the most out of a mastermind. And we're not getting the most out of you. And so our group really it's important that you participate. And so for me, that's the number one thing for success in a mastermind group.
Yeah, I help facilitate a mastermind group for a client of mine, and it's amazing because the members are crickets. Most of them are just crickets. They're there, and guess what? You know what? I don't think they're getting a whole lot out of the group. I think it becomes a group coaching type thing rather than a mastermind synergistic, let's all help each other kind of thing. And that's fine if that's how you want to run a mastermind group, but that kind of contribution is important. If I were joining a brand new mastermind group and wanted to get the most out of it, what I would do is start to message each of the individual members to start establishing a personal rapport with each one. When they had needs, I'd try to be one of the first ones to come to bat with. They posted a question in the secret Facebook group, hey, how do I handle this? I'd be, well, I think you could try this, or you should talk to so-and-so. They know the answer. I would also try to be a connector, to try to connect people to the right information or the right people. Contributing like that means that when you need help, they're there. they're there. When my business partner, John Riding, passed away unexpectedly, the business, our mastermind group members were all right here ready to, hey, can we edit, is there any client work you need us to do? You want me to edit some videos? How can we help you? And that's simply because everybody is contributing to each other.
Yeah, that's powerful, very powerful. And so what I hear you saying is, please clarify me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like you also can help corporations or businesses have and build and develop their own internal mastermind group, maybe among department heads and things like that.
Oh, absolutely. I think it's one of the, as a consultant, for those people who are in a consulting role to business, one of the best things they could do is help their client to create a mastermind group, because it not only is there this great interchange of information, but whoever leads that group is immediately perceived as the greatest expert in the room. It may or may not be true, but they'll be perceived that way. And so just stepping up to say, hey, I'm going to organize this mastermind group. Would you like to be a member? Would you like to be a member? Would you like to be a member? And then facilitating that, huge, huge value. And you become the expert of the experts. That's important.
So tell me more about the mastermind group that you're currently running. You mentioned that you meet how often, and what if people want to learn more about that? Are you taking on new members, or tell us a little bit more about that?
Andy, you want that one?
Sure. We meet twice a week on a Zoom call, just like the one we're doing to do this broadcast. And we sometimes we'll have a topic. Sometimes it'll be a free for all. Let's see what everybody's doing with their business and what's happening, what's new. And then we have special guests. We've had some really great speakers, Instagram expert to teach us all how to use Instagram more effectively for business. LinkedIn expert. That was our last one that we had, right? Our last one was an Instagram expert or LinkedIn expert, and others, right? And so I'm sure at some point, maybe the live broadcasting, what is it? Product that I just used. What's it called? StreamYard. I was looking on my screen to try to find it really quick. Right. StreamYard. I've already connected with the owner, the founder who created the software, and we're going to do an interview, and then I'll probably bring him onto the mastermind group. And so those are the meetings. And then we're doing it more often, but I think it's going to be about twice a year or so. We go on a retreat somewhere for 3 days, and it's amazing. And we put a lot of effort in finding the right place to go to. Usually it's some huge mansion somewhere, and we all gather and have some great food. And Everett, what are all the features that we have there? What are some of the great?
Well, we do bring our own chef, and she just does astounding stuff and caters to each person's diet as needed. We might have some adult beverages or two. Rumor has it, but we can neither confirm nor deny. And but we always have surprise activities as well. So in Yosemite, we took everybody for a twilight hike through the redwoods, and they thought that was good enough. But when we got to our destination, we had an impromptu kind of cocktail party set up with a violin player and stuff like that. And we just always have some crazy surprise like that going, and it's really one of our great joys.
We just came back from Nashville, and towards the end we had a professional country singer come and plugged into the outlet and started playing some fantastic tunes.
Amazing, yeah,
that was amazing.
Great,
and he ended up joining us at the mastermind and then staying there and having dinner with us. It was a really great evening. So
very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. I'm speaking with Everett O'Keefe and Andy Falco with Business Accelerator Group. You guys are awesome, and we'll have to continue this on another broadcast, but thank you for joining me today. How can people get a hold of you?
Yeah, so a couple of ways, David. One is if they want information about the group and the retreat, they can go to mastermindretreat.net. That's mastermindretreat.net. Another way you can do it, if you want, is find us on Facebook, where if you just do a search for Business Accelerator Group, you'll land on our public page. And the public page is where we share some of the information of things that are going on in the group. We also have a secret private page. It is members only. But those would be the two ways to look us up. And if you have questions specifically, you can always message us through Facebook. You'll find Andy Falco Jimenez there in Facebook, as well as myself, Everett O'Keefe.
Excellent. So this has been an outstanding topic today, talking about mastermind groups, the value of them, and why it's important to invest in yourself. And you guys are awesome, the masters of the Mastermind Group. So Business Accelerator Group, mastermindretreat.net, or your Facebook pages, Everett and Andy, the dynamic duo. So thanks, guys, for being with us today, and we will continue this next time here on Fresh Start TV. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, David.